Hi. So I think I already have a video up here on how I make this balloon cutter right here. Just thought I'd make it again. This is attached to my twist 'em up apron, and it's say homemade apron. Sorry, not a homemade balloon cutter. So anyway, I'll just briefly show you. Like there's a balloon, and you just when you're working, it works quite easy. Just push it straight down, and it cuts your balloon. Okay. This one here is a little bit, sorry, this one, it's a little bit smaller. I've kind of switched over to using that kind or that size right away, or just recently. And this one is a little bit bigger right here. As you can see, I purposely have it quite small so the balloon goes through there, but the fingers, little fingers, they cannot. Um, Here is another example of if you make the slot way too big, then of course you can see a little finger could get in there, and we don't want that. So, what do we need to make this happen? Well, you can either use a yardstick right here, which I have used some of them. I think, yeah, that one right there is a yardstick. Now, this other one right here, this is actually kind of stir sticks for paint cans. Now these are the longer ones, and what I've done is I have two together right there. I put a little bit of electrical tape to tie them together, and of course, because I have balloons, I also tied them together with balloons. This way I have to do everything only once, and then our balloon cutter will be, it'll be a mirror image of each other right there. So what kind of stuff do you need to make a balloon cutter like this? Well, you're going to need, I use a double-sided razor right there. Okay. I find any other type of razor is too fat. Um, as you can see, I will cut the razor in half, and then I put hopefully you can focus in there. The sharp points, I form them into a V, and it works fabulously well. Other stuff that you'll need, well, at least I use some sandpaper. Now I've got this saw right here. You can also use a hacksaw. You can also use a regular wood saw. If you're really energetic and you can use a Leatherman tool and their saw. And the other option for, later on you will need, if you're not going to use the sandpaper, then you'll need a file. I tend to use the file on this one here just because it's a bit better, but here's another example. Oh, and you'll need a pair of pliers on for cutting the razor in half. So anyway, that's enough for right now. I'm going to do a little bit of work here and then we'll come back to it. Okay, so just before I continue, I also forgot that I'm going to need a little piece of wire, and the wire will be bent around here. As you can see, this wire is dial before you dig. I pulled it out of the snow. It had been in the alley for I don't know how many months. It's get a if you have the option, get a thin one. They're much easier to bend. The thicker ones, which you do see, they're quite hard to bend, and you can still bend them. But anyway, so I took my razor blade and I did cut it in half. I used these cutters right there, and I'm also going to trim off the top little nub right there, and on both sides. And anyway, that's more to come. And I've used a piece of I just used measured along here, so I'm going to cut the wood down here, not very far in total, and eventually I'm going to cut it off right there. Okay. So anyway, that's. Oh, and maybe you can see I sanded the corners a little bit just because it makes it easier. These I don't want to stab myself or anything with the corner of the wood. Anyway, okay, that's it for a little bit. Okay, here we are. So I have cut a line in here, and I used this saw to get it started, and then I used this other saw right here to make it a bit wider, and then I used sandpaper to get it even wider, and that's wide enough. It doesn't have to be. Definitely, I keep it so that little fingers can't get in there. Okay, so then, and here is the double-edged razor. So hopefully you can see that with with my cutting tool right here, my clippers. I cut it in half, and then what I did is I cut the end off, an end off there and an end off there, and see, you can hopefully see that right there. I've cut that off, and then I cut it right in half because eventually it'll go here. Now, if I was making the bigger one, then I would, well, don't use, this is just the example. I don't use that one ever. I use it at home. Then I would just take the half a razor, and I would like inside like that, and the other side goes the other way, and that's how we make the V. Okay, so anyway, we've got this right here. Soon I'm going to put a piece of tape just around there, so holding it in place, so when I do cut along the line there, then I'll be able to, you know, they won't fly off in different directions, and I already know which side is outside and which side is inside. Okay, more to come in a little bit. Okay, so I've cut this part off of the end of the other wood that I had, and I'm going to open it up, and then what I do is I take a piece of razor and we put it down. Okay, and this part always does take a little bit of time, so you'll have to trust me that this is how I do it. Okay, and I put the other piece down. And eventually I get them in a good, we'll say good V shape, which it is not right now. And I will then put a piece of clear tape on it. Just put that right across the bottom there. Then I close it up. You'll have to watch while I can't show you that because I'm holding the phone. There. Okay, we close it up, and then I make sure, let's get the focus in there. I make sure that the V shape is good. Okay, now if I had two hands to do that, I'd have done much better. But basically, you're going to look for something, this is, like I say, the poor example, but that's the example right there. So once I've got that figured out, I'm going to put another wrap of tape around there, and we'll continue. Okay, so this is the balloon cutter that I've been using, as I've said multiple times. That is way too big. But anyway, I finally got the razors in there. Hopefully you can kind of see them. They're not exposed very much. That's on purpose. Once you've made one of these, it's just so easy just to slice it open and put brand new razors in there and shut her up and let her, put her back together. Now with the wire that I mentioned earlier, I bend it into a shape that goes around here. It goes around the cutter, and it goes up and down. And this would hook onto my twist 'em up apron. You can make any kind of hook that you want, and if you want to make it into a necklace or any other way, then you just shape it as you go. I do use balloons. I'm going to shove the balloon on there. It really holds it on tight. I'll do a couple of wraps of layers of balloon, and then I will put I'll bend a piece of steel just like that, and then I'm almost ready. Okay, so this balloon cutter right here, this is the finished product. I did video how I did this, but it didn't come, or didn't video. I'm not sure why. So anyway, this is the example that I've been using the whole time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a inflated 260, and I ram it onto the bottom there, and I do that a couple of times, and then you'll see there'll be purple on here, and then we will put this twisted balloon, and I will once again use whatever color of 260 to make it look similar to that. Okay, be right back. Okay, so as you can see, I've put a couple of, well, I guess you can't see, but I did put a couple of levels of 260 on there. Then I'm going to push it into the balloon cutter holder, and then I will use another section of 260 to be pushed up, and it holds the balloon cutter into the balloon holder quite nicely. Okay, so I put a couple of layers of 260 on there. Sometimes I will, in fact, just about every time, I'll use a section of 360, and I'll put that on there as well. Just makes it a little bit tighter, I guess. Make sure it that the 260 doesn't come apart. Anyway, that is how I do a balloon cutter. I hope you like it and have a wonderful day.